Yeah, and here we were worried that they might not have anything left in the tank for a big game like this after how well they performed in the clutch at the end of the San Jose game. I'm afraid to ponder at this point when their first regulation loss will be. Hey, don't put that thought into the universe right now, okay? This is all about the good times. We'll deal with that later. Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the Florida Panthers by a final score of 3-0 Thursday night in Amerit Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida, on the back of a 2-goal and 1-assist performance by Philip Forsberg and a 33-save performance by reliable Kevin Lankinen, his first shutout of the season. The Preds extend their point streak to a franchise record 16 games, having gone 14-0-2 in over a calendar month. The Preds would have to collapse, crater into the Earth's core not to make the playoffs at this point. I'm still in shock at the beginning of this game. The Preds are going for a franchise record in their 25-year existence of a 16-game consecutive point streak. A little bit of a surprise coming into this one as Coach Andrew Burnett decides to go with the backup Kevin Lankinen to start this game instead of Saros. But hey, Saros is going to need his rest down the stretcher so that he's ready for the NHL's second season. I thought that Lankinen would get the start against Arizona next week. Perhaps he still will and should, considering that that's 2 days before the Colorado game. A stat courtesy of Alex Doherty on Twitter that Lankinen is 4-3-2 lifetime against the Florida Panthers. So, hey, with stats like that, and with how he has coached this team thus far 70 games into the season, who am I to mistrust the coach? He has done this team right, these fans right. So, hey, Bruno, go ahead and start Kevin. Also, an interesting decision in this game that the Preds had to wear their gold jerseys and the Panthers, who were the home team, elected to wear their whites. But, hey, if you want the Preds to feel like it's a home game, because there was plenty of Preds fans in the crowd I saw on the ESPN Plus feed, hey, Panthers, go ahead. Preds with the jump early. They are not tired with this point streak and 3-game win streak that they had coming into this game. Almost 3 minutes into the opening of this game, Luke Evangelista in on a good stride, but he can't beat Sergei Bobrovsky, who is in net for the Panthers. For those uninformed, because you may just follow the Preds solely like I do, for a bit of a backstory, 4 minutes in, when Jason Zucker and Nick Cousins get into a fight. Yes, that's former Pred Nick Cousins. Well, it just so happens that when Zucker was still on the Coyotes, playing against the Panthers back in January, I think it was, he boarded Nick Cousins, got himself suspended for 3 games. The Panthers and the Coyotes played since that hit, but Cousins was hurt, so Zucker technically didn't answer the bell. They got into a fight. Zucker owned up to what he did before, so I'm assuming, heaven maybe, that the Panthers and Preds play again in the playoffs. We shall see. They're done for the regular season. For now, Zucker has paid off his debt to Cousins. Then Carter Verhaeghe would get called for hooking Michael McCarron, and the one drawback from the Preds point streak that they are on right now is they haven't been very successful on the power play. And this continues initially on this opening power play when they only record 1 shot on goal and can't score just yet. Bobrovsky would then rob the Preds on a 2-on-1 almost 9 minutes into the game, but the Preds are getting the shot totals up, and usually, as you've seen in this point streak, that eventually will pay off. But the Preds keep coming in waves. They're getting closer. Almost 5 minutes left to go in the first. Philip Forsberg driving the whole way from the blue line, acting like he's a defenseman. He beats Bobrovsky, blocker side through, but ping off of the post. Oh my God, come on. Something go in. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the first period, though. The Preds continue to be persistent. It's the meat and potatoes line, or so I've heard them called. Thank you, Willie Donick, for that one. Ryan O'Reilly makes a great play to keep the puck from going out. He keeps it in a blue line, and he gets it down to Philip Forsberg to Bobrovsky's left. He comes into the net through Some defenders trying to push him off the puck. Whacking away. Bobrovsky down, trying to collect a rebound. It's still loose as the puck is right there. And Gustav Nyquist puts it home. His 19th of the season. He's getting closer to being another 20-goal man from this team. Most importantly, the Preds open the scoring. A crucial goal on the road, up 1-0. Roman Josi would then get called for tripping late in the first period. Preds with a penalty kill to kill off portionally in the first period, which they would thanks to a great kill along the board by Alexander Carey to kill off the clock. Penalty would carry over to the second period, but most importantly, after the opening 20, the Preds have that all-important lead up 1-0 after the first. Also impressive, the Preds outshot the Panthers on the jump in their building 13-5 after that first 20. Preds have a close call early in the second period as Montador nearly beats Lankinen, but the Preds escape that danger and eventually kill off Josi's penalty. Lankinen continuing to come up big as nearly 5 minutes into the second period, he hugs the post and prevents Rodriguez from beating him. Preds still bringing the heat to the Panthers, not backing down. They're not scared, and for their hard effort, you've got Jason Zucker drawing a hooking call by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, giving the Preds a second chance on the power play. And on that power play, about 7.5 into the second period, Roman Josi gets the pass over to Tyson Barrie. Yes, Tyson Barrie winds up and gets a shot on net, and as it's going towards Bobrovsky's goal, with a tip that changes direction and puts the goal through Bobrovsky's 5-hole, it's Philip Forsberg, his 37th of the season, and the Preds lead 2-0. And wait, hold up. The refs initially want to converse and see if that is a good goal because it was tipped halfway up, but all the replays on ESPN Plus, at least that I can see, show it was a goal, and they review. Oh, thank God, because after the refs initially called it a goal, they review it and say, yep, it's a good goal. Paul Maurice of the Florida Panthers cannot challenge this. We don't have to waste any time looking at something that we know counts. It's a good goal. Preds with that all-important as this game goes along, adding to the lead up 2-0. Panthers not going away. They're amping up the pressure. About 8 minutes left to go. You've got Montador, great save by Lankinen. 30 seconds later, Rodriguez, great save by Lankinen. Just over 8 minutes left to go in the second period. Panthers ramping up the pressure, not going quietly into the night, but you know who's also up to the task? Kevin Lankinen. He first robs Rodriguez, and 30 seconds later makes a great save on Montador. We seem to be breezing through the second period at this point, and that's quite all right with Preds Nation as we reach the last quarter of the period. Lankinen turning the Panthers aside at every turn, it seems. And you know what I'm also happy to see with this team? They stand up and stick up for each other. You had Rodriguez, who took out Carey, but almost instantaneously, here comes Colton Sissons to put him into the ice. Last minute of the second period, things are looking promising. Panthers only outshooting the Preds by a total of 16-14. Pretty even period there. But the all-important thing is the Preds added to their lead. They're up 2-0 after 2. 20 minutes left to go in now the biggest road game of this point streak that the Preds are on. Can they get it done in the third? Under a minute into the third period, Roman Josi takes the second penalty of the game, a cross-checking penalty, and the Preds are going to have to bear down and get another big kill for their captain if they want to get the 2 points in this game. You don't want to give the Panthers fresh life on brand new ice in their building, but the Preds bear down, get it done, and kill off another 2 minutes off the clock, eliminating that power play threat. And hey, let's give the Panthers credit by also giving the Preds credit. The Preds didn't allow the Panthers to score, and they have the second best power play in the league right now. And Preds Nation, how many of you are still picking up your jaw off of the floor like I am with over 5 minutes into the third period when Lankinen with high rate robbery with his left pad on Matthew Tkachuk? Preds have a chance to extend their lead even further as Lissa Tarrant for the Panthers goes off for slashing. Forsberg has one good chance maybe. Preds aren't able to score, but the all-important thing, hey, another amount of time killed off the clock. Just about 11 and a half left to go in regulation. We've got 8 minutes left to go in regulation. Second by second, minute by minute, my heart races faster and faster and faster and faster. But we get all more important to this game's conclusion. Just over 6 minutes left to go now in regulation. The Preds don't want to wait for an empty net opportunity. They're in the Panthers zone. Forsberg battles with Forsling of the Panthers for the loose puck. He skates down. He waits for an opportunity, and he gets it to Nyquist, who puts it on net, and there is Forsberg as they wag away, and it's tipped, and it's in! Oh my God! I think we can finally breathe now, even though there's still time left in this one. The Preds on the road, in the Panthers' home building, a team fighting for the President's Trophy, are up 3-0. Under 3 minutes left to go in regulation. The Preds, at this point, playing prevent defense, trying to get that crucial 2 points. But the bonus being they're also trying to get Kevin Lankinen his first of the season in some category that I can't just say just yet that he rightfully deserves for how he's playing in this game. Last 30 seconds tick down in this game. Panthers not really posing a threat anymore. The horn sounds, and there it is. You can shout it from the rooftops, Preds Nation. It's not the ultimate thing you want to shout from the rooftops. That will come one day, and I believe it will in June this year. Maybe another, but for now, the one thing that this fan base and this team, the coaching staff and the players can be proud of is that they have now set the longest point streak in franchise history at 14-0-2. It is also Kevin Lankinen's first shutout of the season, a well-deserved one, and at this point, the Preds would absolutely have to collapse not to make it into the playoffs. What a road win for this team that doesn't know the definition of quit. They now haven't lost in regulation in a month and 6 days. This is arguably the best measuring stick game of the 16-game streak. They continue to excel in the third period, hitting that acceleration pedal just right, not pumping the brakes constantly like you would have found them doing in previous seasons with this team. I'll say it again, I haven't had this much fun watching Nashville Predators hockey since the President's Trophy season of 2017-2018. That was the peak at that time before the eventual downhill slide that started in 2018-2019. Now, this team is definitely on the upswing. Let's see how far they can take it this upcoming spring and in the next few seasons to come. I also want to give thanks to Kevin Lankinen, who I don't think has been given enough credit for his relief duty for UC Saros this season. This list of stats, thanks to Michael Gallagher that posted this on Twitter earlier tonight, that in his 14 starts, Kevin Lankinen, 10 of them have been against playoff teams. 9 of those 10 have been on the road. 7 of those have 90 or more points. And now he has beaten 6 of those teams that have 90 or more points. Kevin Lankinen is clearly, above all, hey, no offense to Dave Rittich, he's doing great with LA, but Lankinen is the best backup situation the Preds have had since UC Saros and Pekka Rinne were the 1-2 punch for this team. And I just want to say one more thing. Props to the boys for getting this win for Bruno. He earned this one. I have no proof that there was extra motivation in the Preds locker room coming into this game, but for those uninitiated who may not know, this was Andrew Burnett's first return trip to Florida as head coach of another team after unceremoniously being replaced as interim head coach of the Panthers 2 seasons ago when they won the President's Trophy by Paul Maurice after Andrew Burnett had to replace and clean up the mess of the embarrassed, fired Joe Quenneville. Next up for the Preds is a 2-game homestand Saturday afternoon against Detroit and then Tuesday night against Vegas. No help from the out-of-town scoreboard as the Blues beat the Senators, but the more important thing is the Preds took care of their business. Now, let's see if the Preds can go for more and go for 17 on Saturday against Big Brother. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media where you can interact with me during every Preds game by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption. I just picked up another 2 subscribers the other day, and I'm looking forward to gaining more. And hey, Preds Nation, I'm ready to say this, and you should be ready to say this out loud too. If you haven't already, you can tell your friends, even though they're not mathematically clinched yet, the Nashville Predators are going to the playoffs.